Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SSN Patch Notes, your weekly gaming news destination, where you can come in, get a little bit of me. Today, we're once again greeted by the presence of Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. How are you?
Oh, hello. I am tired. I'm tired.
I am too. But that doesn't mean we're going to be all pooched out for the gaming news that we have for you today. Like I said, each and every week on Monday, 1 p.m. officially now, I think is the best way we're going to describe it for us. At twitch.tv/SSN Plays, you get to watch us talk about all the gosh darn gaming news that we love to talk about. This week, it is not Siege edition, as you may have seen by the splash screen there. I still have to update the intro so that it's not Siege related for the explosion. But, baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. But we do have some news.
Get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We do have some news about Horizon Forbidden West. A couple of tidbits with Nintendo. Some Twitch DMCA updates. But it's not what you want to hear, unfortunately. And a little bit more. And for the hot fix, we're going to have ourselves a little a post-show and tell. That's the best little pun that I can do for you guys. But for now, I gotta ask, Steph, what have you been playing lately?
Speaking of Nintendo, I spent this morning trying to. I'm slowly finishing it. I'm not close to the end. I'm close to the end. I'm not sure. I'm playing. I don't know what I'm doing, Larcher.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I'm playing. I'm playing through the latest Paper Mario, which is Origami King, and it is super fun. And in general, I really love the Paper Mario series. But that's a personal level. But
You know what?
it's been fun. It's been.
Paper Mario it was a blast when I was younger. I really enjoyed it. I think the last one I played was the Paper Mario and the Thousand Doors or something. I think is what it's called. Something or other. I can't remember. It's an older one. It's a GameCube game. That's the last one that I played. But the idea of a Mario RPG has always fascinated me. I love the idea, especially way back on the Super Nintendo. I still vouch for this. I want a remake of, or I'll even settle for a remaster. Yes, the man who hates remasters.
Oh wow!
I will settle for a Super Mario RPG remaster. Problem with that is that it was a SquareSoft / Nintendo joint production. I don't know if that's really going to happen anymore, but they will get it. But also, I know that on your stream, twitch.tv/Stephanie_Ma with an F and 2 N's.
With an H, there's no H.
Yeah, for the Ma part, isn't there?
There's. Oh yes, there's an H.
Ha! I was right. Don't confuse me. I'm old.
To be fair, this is coming from the person who spelt my at wrong again, and I had to change it.
Oh my god. Nonetheless, you were playing a lovely co-op game with your boo named It Takes Two.
Boo.
Now, that is your first venture into that game. How was it? How did you feel? Your stress levels were? How are you guys still together? Should we be worried, you and Fly?
We're still together. For those who don't know, my boyfriend, his screen name is Fly Shooter, so I call him Fly because his real name is the same name as my brother, so we call him Fly.
Yeah.
But it's very good. I really understand why people talk about it potentially getting Game of the Year just because it has. I was searching it up just because I was curious of how much content there was. There's 10 to 16 hours of this game, depending on how you play it, right? And it's a very fun co-op game. And obviously you can play it couch co-op with someone else, or you can play it co-op online, and then they have this free extension that you can have to play it online, unlike Nintendo, who makes you pay for things to play online with other people. Nintendo.
And it's terrible.
Yeah, it is really bad. But it's really good. The puzzles are really interesting. The story is really great. Even though Fly and I are more critical of the story because we're just those kind of people.
Okay.
The main premise is basically that there's this couple and they have this daughter and they're getting a divorce, and they tell their daughter that they're getting a divorce because you got to do that at some point with kids. And she does this thing where she has like these two little dolls that she made of her mom and her dad, and she cries basically in front of this book about relationships and love, and her tears fall on the dolls, and then her parents get transferred into the dolls. So typical trope, and it's interesting. The whole thing is about like relationships and how you fix something when it's kind of past the breaking point. And I super recommend it if you have friends or if you want to play it with your boo or like your best friend. Go play it, pick it up. I think it's worth the 45.
Yeah, I think
How much
that's
is it
something.
on Steam?
Yeah. It's so it is, yeah, from what I've seen from the reviews from people like yourself talking about it, just watching some of the content that people have created with this, it really does seem like a game worth playing, especially for like in this, the pandemic's kind of a little bit slowing down, with vaccines coming out
Yeah.
for a lot of people, but still seems like an amazing couch co-op experience because of the split screen aspect, but also the fact that you can do this online, and like you said, you can send out a basically free version of it for someone else to play with you
Hmm.
is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And this is from an EA game, technically, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
with the EA.
yeah. They're not just the developers. They're the publishers, the distributors. But
Hmm.
still, that is an amazing aspect to see. And this is also from the same people, if you're interested, who made A Way Out. That's
Yes.
their other split
Which I
screen.
need to buy still
I mean, that sounds like
to
another
play
game
with
for you.
Fly.
Yeah. Look, it's couples therapy, okay? It's couples therapy. But that is
Yeah.
good to hear. I might have to pick that up and try to see if I can play with Tracy then. Um, Also, I'm seeing in chat right now. There's hype saying I've never watched a live podcast before, so I don't know if I'm meant to chat or not. But I'm doing it. Hi, you're more than welcome to. If there's something you want us to talk about, you can go ahead and place that in the chat. It's totally fine. The patch notes is not the most traditional version of what we do for podcasts here on the SSN network on twitch.tv/SSN Plays. If it's the SSN podcast, we tend to just talk to ourselves, and we have a post show where we talk to people. If you are here live and in person at twitch.tv/SSN Plays right now, like Hype, like Will, like Lep, myself, and Steph, if there's something you want to say, you're more than welcome to go ahead and put it in. If you need to correct us about something, just add us in the chat and we'll be able to read it and correct whatever mistakes we have made. That's the kind of show we have here, because we're all learning. We're all
Like
learning.
fans.
But needless to say, we do have some gaming news to get a part of, to grasp, to absorb its knowledge. And one of them, Steph, you were talking about was some Nintendo news. If you want to go ahead and lead us off on that, please.
Yeah. So in general, Nintendo, new things coming out. Larcher being the old man who loves ports. We
Look,
got
my
release
logo.
dates for the Pokemon port of Diamond and Pearl, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Obviously it's gonna be upwards to $90. But that's Nintendo. Um, but we also got a release date for Legend of Arceus, which is their n- next new Pokemon game, which is not a port. So maybe Larcher can justify the price there. Um, but Legend of Arceus, I believe, comes out in January.
Okay, all right. So, beginning of the new year of 2022, we're gonna get a brand spanking new Nintendo Switch Pokemon game, and it is called what? Pokemon Arceus?
Pokemon
Legends
Legends
Arceus.
Legends Arceus, basically.
All right. Now, we don't really know much about the game itself. With a name like Pokemon Legends Arceus, is it safe to assume that this might not be a traditional Pokemon game? Or it's
I
just.
mean, from what we saw for when they teased things earlier this year,
Mhm.
it seems more. I think from what a lot of people say on the internet, it's what a lot of people want a Sword and Shield to be, which is genuinely more open world, which will be interesting, I think, because it'll be interesting to see an genuinely open world Pokemon game and how they'll function with that. But it's basically the whole game is based in the past, but then it's like an area where you can have different starters from different generations. So I know
Okay.
like they have. So I think it's like you can have Piplup as a starter, and then there's like Cyndaquil as a starter, and someone else, and so it's like different like it's in the past, but it's also different generation starters. So is this like generation 0 or like
If
what
you're
gen is this?
if you're telling me that in this game I can get me my sweet boy Bulbasaur back, okay, as my starter
Bulbasaur.
Pokemon, yeah, you know what? I might justify buying this game, okay? I want me goddamn starter Bulbasaur because I will fight to the ends of the earth. Bulbasaur is best starter Pokemon of all time. I love that little dude. Well, dinosaur with a plant on his back. I mean, how could you not love him? I love him. But yes, that is nice to see.
Small baby.
There is quite a bit of few other ones coming out. I know that people like to. I've built this character. Thank you, Tracy. I got myself a little latte on the go. I
You
know
can give
that.
me a latte.
Well, come on over. You know, I'll get it started for you. Don't worry. I'll get Tracy.
I don't drink coffee. It's okay.
A latte for Steph, please. Make it a boba tea. Tracy.
It's okay. I don't drink bitter bean water.
There it is. All right, but yeah, it is interesting to see what's gonna happen with the Pokemon game. I am okay. For preface, for the people who have not seen the streams or me talk about this before, the idea with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl being released onto the console for the Switch, my biggest worries for the game is it is literally a direct port for game, which means they're at most they're gonna upres it to be at least 60 frames per second. It's gonna fit a 1920 by 1080 screen, you know, as it should be, or the 1280 by 720 if you're playing on the actual console itself. But it's the idea that these are two separate games still, even though these are, you know, technically how old games now? 10 years at least.
Yeah, it's been 10 years since
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, so 10 years for both games, and instead of packaging them together so you can get all the Pokemon in one shot, they're separate games, and they're going to potentially most likely cost full price of a new game, and I do not accept that. Unless this game is totally reworked, ground up, and it's just that these Pokemon are now in the game. Like it is, we'll say, like, it looks like, we'll say Pokemon Legends Arceus, or even Sword and Shield. It looks like one of those games, and it's completely revamped system, then fine. But problem is, it's Nintendo, and Nintendo doesn't necessarily do that with their games. That's
Yeah.
that's
So,
what
but
worries me.
I mean, yeah, it's standard Nintendo procedure for a lot of their games, especially with a lot of their ports and like remakes. But still, as someone whose first generation was Diamond and Pearl, as like that was the first generation I really got into, I'm still willing to pay that price. Like so many people on Twitter have been waiting for a Diamond and Pearl remake, and I think it like compared to what it looked like on the DS, it still is in a sense like a higher up. Like you walk around as like little chibis, and then when you go into battle, it looks like the Sword and Shield
Yeah.
mechanic. But it's like nostalgia, Larcher,
No,
nostalgia.
no,
Let me have my Turtwig and walk around with a giant tree. Like,
look, I love you, okay, and I love all my. But if we want better products from Nintendo, which we've seen them do with Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, any of their first-party newer titles, we gotta stop supporting them when they do these yeah, I'm gonna say it, garbage ports. It's not acceptable. Like, look what they did with Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening was a beautiful remaster because it is practically the same game, but it has a new perspective, over the top view with a porcelain doll kind of look. It has a beautiful depth of field blur around everything that Link's not around. They've added the create your own dungeon stuff. There's a couple little extra tidbits and kind of like Easter eggs from the classic to other game franchises in there. That's a good way to do it. Let's get more of those, Steph.
yeah, but you could argue that Diamond and Pearl, the remake, is about the same thing. It's like you've made the models look similar to Link's Awakening. You know, the environments like I meant like they're
Yeah,
small and
yeah.
cute, Like the environments are upgraded. It's not like not pixel like super pixely
Yeah.
anymore. Oh, based on like God knows what we had on the DS. It's like it's better. But it's like you still get the starter. Like
This is the
come on.
problem. This is the
You can't
problem
argue that.
that both Steph and I have, right? We have two mentalities. We have the mentality of I want old, but I want it done in modern times. And then we have Steph and the majority of the world, which I'm okay with admitting I'm the minority in this one, of we just want what we love but updated or for newer consoles. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be
Yeah.
like that. I mean, for God's sakes, I bought I don't know how many versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, on the virtual consoles. I don't know how many times that I've purchased Super Mario 64. But I guess when I hit 30, something broke inside of me. I'm now 33, so it's been
I
3 years, and something changed where I'm like, I just can't justify buying these games again and again and again.
Well, to be fair, like with like those classic games, it's like there will always be people, and I believe Alana Pierce put out a tweet about how it's like that's how Nintendo's been working. They
Mhm.
re-release the game for the new console, and you're still gonna buy it because that's just how it is. But I think it's like with Pokemon games getting a remaster, it's like there's usually a significant amount of time between that and the newer port. And there's always a visual upgrade for it. And then, like, you can't run Diamond, like the old Diamond and Pearl on a Switch. Like, you still have to play it on the DS. Um, so I think it's, in my eyes, I think it's okay because it's legitimately like they revamped it in a sense, and maybe they'll add new stuff to it. But it's also like they're they're coming out with Legends Arceus, right? So it's like
Yes.
you get your port and then you
You
get
get your
your
new.
new stuff.
Which do they have a release date for the Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Nugget or whatever it's
Shining
called?
Pearl.
Yeah, that's the one.
Shining Nugget. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl comes out November 19th, 2021. And
Ooh,
then
so close. Because the Jan, you said
Legends
you said it was in
Legends
January,
comes
right?
out January 28th,
That is
2022.
wowzers. That is pretty close together. That is but that is Pokemon talk. Another game, another franchise that I am excited about is a little bit more of an update on Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. Now, for people who don't know, Metroid Prime 4 was a game that's been in talks of being a sequel being made for a long time, and a very long time. And at some point, ended up by switching developers, going back, I believe, to the original team that had it, and they restarted development in 2019. But if you guys didn't know, at the time, there's something called COVID-19 that happened, and it kind of
Oh, gee.
halted. Yeah, right. Have you heard about it? I don't know. It's a small little flu. I don't know if it's really gonna catch on or anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people are worrying about wearing masks and stuff. I think they're just crazy. Well, your freaking masks.
It's not like we're
Wear
gonna
your
be
goddamn
stuck
masks.
indoors for like about 2
Oh my
years. That's
god.
fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let's just go on a parade. Let's just all just get on a parade outside without our masks to talk about how good we feel. Because this is all fake. I swear to God. I wish I had a one cam right now. I swear to God, if you're one of those anti-maskers. All right, anyways. Rant over. Going back to professional mode. Yes. So the development has been halted, but there are hopes that Metroid Prime 4 will have some kind of a CG teaser or trailer at this year's E3. Which, by the way, if you don't know, E3 is still happening, but it'll be solely based on, I believe, an online platform, kind of like your Nintendo Directs or your PlayStation State of Plays. Something there's a chance that we might at least get some kind of a tease to really reignite our interest and our love of Metroid Prime franchise. I'll be honest, Metroid Prime 1 is still one of my favorite GameCube games to date. That game blew my mind as to what a first-person shooter could look like on a console. B, it's the original grappling hook game because you had that in that game. And C, the protagonist fucking Samus Aran as an all-time badass. Yeah, I'll take that. You get to shoot birds and stuff? Come on. I'm going to go wrong with that. But it is something that's very interesting. And then, as far as I can tell with Bayonetta 3, which again, the link that I posted in the chat is where we're getting some of our information here from the Gaming Bolt News. It's pretty much, you might get a short trailer for Bayonetta 3, and that's about it. There's not much about the conversation with that.
Yeah. They also, it's speculation, but
Yeah.
a new Mario Kart, maybe? More stuff about Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
You know.
Again, this is something that hasn't been talked about on the podcast, on this specific podcast. I will mention it here very briefly. It sounds like I'm ragging on Nintendo a lot, but it's because it's a system. For the love of God, my shirt, one of our original logo designs is based off of the the Nintendo controller, right? But it has to be said that I am heavily disappointed in their handling of the 35th anniversary of Legend of Zelda. For those who don't know, when Mario celebrated their anniversary, they did the Super Mario All-Star 3D collection. I've already spoken about this in the past. I'm not a fan of it. I think that was just a money grab, because all they did was up-res to 60 frames and 1080 HD graphics. That's all they did. They didn't touch the games themselves. They didn't tweak Super Mario 64. They kept it the same blocky 64-bit graphics. Anyways, it doesn't matter. What a lot of us were hoping for Zelda's anniversary, for the 35th anniversary, was going to be a couple of games being re-released. But specifically, what a lot of people wanted, more than anything else, was to take Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and I am one of these people, and not just up-res it to 60 frames and make it HD for the Switch, but it was to literally rebuild it from the ground up, because we have seen gaming franchises do this in the past. Final Fantasy VII Remake is an excellent example of that, where they took a remaster, they remade the game with a totally potentially new story plot that's intertwined in there. I don't want the story to change for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but I do wish the fighting mechanics and the look of it would match more of something to the kin of a Breath of the Wild, or even Twilight Princess, which is another game that a lot of people were hoping would at least get an HD up-res, 60 frames, and your 1080 by 1920. Unfortunately, what they gave us was Skyward Sword, the most, probably arguably the worst Legend of Zelda game in the entire franchise, considering how at the time, and I'm pretty sure they announced that it's not going to have this anymore, but it was forcing you to use the motion controls for the game. Not a fun thing to do. It's actually quite poo-poo. Now, and also it is a very linear Legend of Zelda game, like going akin to like how technically Ocarina of Time was, where like you have to go to this temple, you have to go here. There was no real deviation when you were flying on your bird, because if you do that, you kind of like warp back to somewhere else. It was I hope that Breath of the Wild 2, a lot of people are saying, could potentially end up being a brand new game, and I'm fine with that. And because it is Zelda's 35th anniversary, I want a concrete trailer and gameplay footage. What I want. Steph, I talked a lot. I apologize. What are your thoughts?
You went to like Toledo, Ohio, and then you came back. Like, I mean, Breath of the Wild 2 is definitely gonna be a new original game, because it's like, do you mean original game as in gameplay wise, or like story?
From what was happening, there are rumors that Breath of the Wild 2 for a long time, that what we were seeing was actually meant to be just a DLC extension of the original Breath of the Wild, but it expanded so much that it made itself into a game. It's kind of like Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask was a small concept of an idea that was like potential that they were kind of playing with in Ocarina of Time, which then evolved into a thing. Same thing with Halo ODST, right? Things like that. So it is interesting to see that this game, I'm hoping, isn't just going to recycle the same environment from Breath of the Wild, that they will be adding a lot more things, some new tools, some new fighting mechanics. Hopefully, maybe let go of the whole weapon degradation system, or at least update it so that it doesn't happen as frequent when you have the higher tier weapons.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I, for preference, have not played a single Zelda game, so it just I could have gotten Breath of the Wild. It's just I I know, and I have an Okami tattoo. What of it?
I played
um
Okami, okay?
um, but it's I don't know. I just personally I didn't like a lot of the aspects. There's a hair on my face that I can't find. Um, uh, a lot of aspects of Breath of the Wild I didn't like, and this sounds really backwards since most people know that I really like playing Genshin Impact, and that has a lot of similar aspects, like the stamina thing. But
Mhm.
then the biggest thing I think is I didn't like how Breath of the Wild looked. I know a lot of people liked it. I didn't particularly like the art style. And I hate the weapon gradation. It seems so backwards to me that you get a weapon, like don't you at one point aren't you able to get the master sword?
You can, yeah, you do
Like what's the
wield.
point of getting the master sword and then have it break on you?
So
Like that doesn't make sense to me.
it doesn't break, it just loses its power and needs to recharge. So it is still a mid to high tier weapon when it's not charged. It's just that it won't do as much damage when it's facing against, we'll say, like the machines and stuff, and you won't get to shoot laser beams out of it. That's all. Okay.
That is also true. I don't like how there aren't any waifus in it.
What are you
Um
talking about?
I like I-
You got fish lady. You got bird dude. You got desert lady. You got
No,
Zelda.
Larcher, it's the look of them. I want
Oh.
cute anime waifu.
Oh, you want them big-breasted, short skirt ladies? Gotcha. So, there's a show that's
Yes.
called High School of the Dead. I'm sure you'll love it. Then you know what? Andrew loves to rave about it. Go talk to him. He'll tell you how it's great for the story.
I don't. In also in context is I'm not. Of course, in I guess popular belief. I'm not a weeb. Like
Yeah,
I'll like a hardcore weeb.
yeah.
There's definitely aspects of anime and manga that I really enjoy, and I'll watch. Like I read manga more than I watch anime, I think. But it's just I don't like a lot of plots aren't great.
Yeah. No, that's fine. No, that's totally fine.
And
I
I also
understand.
don't like zombies. So like but I know what anime you're talking about. That's the one where it's like you shoot the bullet and her tits go,
Oh no, that's
right?
something completely different. That is like
Is that the same one? No,
no,
that's not the same one.
totally different. But moving on before we
Oh,
get copywritten and we get taken down by Twitch, I'm gonna segue to our next story, which coincidentally talks about the Twitch DMCA issues on a lot of streamers are experiencing still to this day. This article is from Kotaku, written by Nathan Grayson. I will go ahead and put that in the chat if anyone wants to go ahead and read along. It is a very interesting article talking about how the music industry is still, after their first wave of copyright strikes and claims, are coming back potentially with a vengeance. And all that Twitch tell their creators to save themselves is delete, delete, delete. We are at the point now where the music industry has an extremely strong hold against, both on YouTube and Twitch, being able to literally take down a video or at least claim it and strike it to the point now where you could be live and it's happening. Your videos could be unpublished and you could still get a copyright strike because these algorithms, these machines, have the capabilities of finding that on Twitch. And I'm gonna read you some of the highlights here that talk about this stuff, just so that everyone can understand. All right. So again, this is excerpts pulled from the article that I posted in the chat. If you want to read along, you're more than welcome to. But here we go. This is about the Twitch DMC issues, how they continue. More music companies are trying to crack down on Twitch streamers who play copyrighted music or VODs. The ability to unpublish VODs, viewer strike count, strike notifications, and dashboards track audio support for OBS and more, investing in proactive detection and muting, and working with rights holders. Sounds like something that'd be great to have. Unfortunately, not that. These are only promises that Twitch is offering their creators at the moment to go ahead and defend them at least a little bit against these copyright strikes that are happening. But at the moment, like I said at the beginning, all they can tell you right now is to unpublish and delete. Make sure there are no strikes and no claims used against you. Now, this is something that's affecting a lot more of our American streamer friends. Because again, in Canada, we have our own copyright laws and strikes that we have to worry about. But nonetheless, it is an issue that has occurred, and we have seen some big name streamers who have unfortunately had to pretty much wipe out their entire VOD history because they were playing, even at low volumes, some copyrighted song that goes and gets them stricken or claimed against, which means they lose all monetary value on those videos. Yeah.
Is this stricken or strucken?
Stricken? Smitten? I'm not too sure. Chat,
I got smited by the Twitch gods.
Yeah. So it is also to continue on how the music industry is kind of portraying streamers and platforms like Twitch or YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, all those things as the bad guy. Wrote in an open letter to the government, the U.S. government. All right, I'm going to read this. In an open letter published last year, multiple major U.S. music organizations, including the RIAA, deemed Twitch's solutions unsatisfactory and said that for songwriters and performers, fair royalties on growing platforms like Twitch can literally be a matter of life and death for you. The difference between having a place to live and homelessness and having access to healthcare or being uninsured. This company are trying to portray that these songwriters or musicians are not going to get paid the right amount of money because someone might be playing like we do as a pre-show, music playing in the background while we get things revved up and ready to go to get people to pull in and, in theory, help us make money. Now, I understand that if all we did for 24 hours was play copyrighted music to the masses, that would be an issue. That would be a no-no. That's a big old no-no. But to argue that when we play music and we have, the artist that is playing, that you can go and check them out on Spotify or on Bandcamp or whatever, that gives them actually the idea of publicity, more ears and more eyes to watch upon their product, and potentially more money on them, which is technically just more money for those music companies because they're the ones who are not paying their musicians or their songwriters the right amount, is unacceptable, and it is their way to try to turn it around to make us look bad. That is my initial thought. Steph, you have the floor.
I mean, in general, Zach put it in our chat, but in general, copyright law is very archaic and it's so nuanced and there's so many gray areas to it that it's I'm choking on my spit, dear lord.
With how mad you are.
I mean, I'm a media production student, so this is something that we kind of have to study in a certain sense. And it's really weird because it's like, even if music, playing music on Twitch, like with a guitar or piano or whatever, is such a big category that I don't even those people are at risk of getting DMCA because they're covering a song. But at least on YouTube, as long as you're covering music and you're not using the original stuff without proper licensing and stuff, you're safe because it's creative,
control,
creative liberties to a thing. And it's as you said, we're both Canadian, so we face this very differently, and we're both on the scale of Twitch. We're technically small streamers, so it doesn't hit us as much because I think the main thing is if you have DMCA'd music in with popular content creators and your Twitch is your Twitch stream and your clips are viewed a lot, that's money that people can. So it's so weird, and like they took out Twitch Sings because of the DMCA stuff, and now they're like they have their own music library thing, and it's like, what's the point? Just figure something
Yeah.
out.
It is at the point now you could argue that Amazon, who owns Twitch for people who don't know, who bought them for $970 million, which is pocket change for this company.
Money.
Money! Because they have probably made double that at this point with the Twitch platform, with how many creators that are on here, how many streamers, and gifted subs, bits being donated, all that fun jazz. You could argue that this company, Amazon, who has their own section of music with Amazon Prime Music Unlimited, or whatever it's called, they could afford to get at least some of the bigger names, or even some of the cheaper names out there, licensed music that can add to that library that you just spoke about, so that it becomes more enticing for us to want to go over there. And maybe, oh look, a Basket Case there by Green Day, cool, let's put that on. Oh damn it, by Blink-182, oh yeah, that's cool. Fucking Lady Gaga's Paparazzi's there, yeah, let's add that in there. Cool. Like, that's music that people in general will like, because these are classics, these are hits, these are pop hits that people love and recognize. And it's not just, and this is not an insult to any of those music that's already there, but it's just not sometimes generic noise that's just in the background. Sometimes you're using certain songs to hype your chat, your audience, your schmucks if you're us, or you're playing songs that help kind of describe who you are. There's a reason why I like to play twerp all the time when I do these show stuff, to get the people coming in and stuff, to say hi to them. I love their music because even though I will not dance with I won't do a no pants dance, I love the music, I love the sentiment. I like the idea of, it's like, love yourself, love others, we're just here to have a good time. No negativity in those songs. I love Planet Booty because it is, again, love who you are, the way that you look, and you know what? It doesn't matter if you're a big booty dude. Drop those draws and have a good time. You know what I mean? Love who you are. It's a lot of self-loving and loving others for who they are kind of stuff. All right? Steph, I know it's weird. You got to stick with me.
Just keep your pants on as if you're streaming.
Look,
people.
Hey,
not on stream.
Can't see what's happening down here. All right, don't worry about it. Unless I get up, then I'm kind of screwed. But that's not the point. Point being, there needs to be some sort of a compromise where, even if it's Twitch accepting some kind of I hate to say it, but a fee that creators could pay, like a monthly service, that these music assholes can group together and have their music on here for us to play, and we will not get those damn strikes. This would not be a huge issue for big partners, but for lower partners and affiliates like us would suffer. But this could be a compromise. It is not a compromise that I want. It is just a suggestion. Because it's also gotten to the point, for those who don't know, that certain game sounds, music, or voice lines that are recorded and played over a game, over a stream, can still get you copyrighted, and you can get a copyright strike because of it. That is how ridiculous these systems, these robots, have gotten now. It is not acceptable. It is disgusting. And I'm going to read a quote, and it kind of touches to what Zach said in chat. I'm going to read a quote to you that a WoW streamer by the name of Asmund Gold said. Streamers and YouTubers should get together and bribe, so lobby, technically, start a lobby, lobby politicians to change these ridiculous and antiquated laws, said by the popular WoW streamer Asmund Gold. Embarrassing that the internet still follows a law written in 1998. That this is just to prove, this is during the time of your Napsters, of people stealing music and all that stuff, instead of sharing it like we are now. Instead of, technically giving free publicity for these songs, for these artists, who can then go ahead and, get more money because people are checking their ears. Or, Steph, my mind just thought of something else that we could do. It's brilliant. Check this out. Twitch already has the ability, because they've done it to me, where they've muted segments of my streams where they think there's music that doesn't belong. If you're about to download a video, all right, a VOD from your channel that has that music, that whole segment that has that music is just muted for you. That's it. And that solves the problem for the people who think they can just download the video, rip that song out, and just have that playing forever for them instead of buying the damn song. It's brilliant.
I mean, eh, eh, eh. It needs workshopping.
Ilium. It does,
Just
but at least
take it back to the drawing board and come back later.
it's something instead of what Twitch is doing, which is, hey guys, just delete your videos or unpublish them. At least it's an opinion. It is something that someone is bringing up versus what this company, who is in charge of technically representing us against these bigger and richer organizations, these music producers, and all they can come up with is just delete. They should be at least communicating with, not even us, the higher partners, all right? Your Shrouds and your Gross XQC guys and your Amaranths and all them. They should be contacting them or communicating with them that they are looking into it, and then they could then spread the knowledge for them. Because then Shroud could say something, hey, Twitch contacted me, they're looking into this. It gives us hope that there is something at least attempted to be done, right? And I'm going to say something that Zach put in. It would be nice if a fusion of Amazon Music and with Twitch instead of a soundtrack. The issue comes from, I think, there's still issues with Spotify, excuse me, and the likes with artist stable payments.
Dear Lord.
I'm dying. I'm fine. But yes, you would think that an integrated system like that from your mother company, your father, your head company, can help. I'm about to cough again. I apologize.
Yeah, so it would be interesting, but at the same time, also speaking of Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, use your Twitch Prime sub, because that's like free money from Bezos that you can use, and Bezos doesn't need more money, so like Twitch Prime sub to anyone, anyone, because you know we appreciate it, the streamer appreciates it, and you gotta say to the rich man up above. So Larcher, you're also muted in Discord.
Oh, I know. I spoke to chat there for a second. But yeah, it is these awesome things that you can end by doing, and it is just something that I wish it's been about a year, if not a little bit more now at this point, that we've been having these issues with Twitch and the DMCAs, and we are still at the same standstill, and it is unfortunate. What is not unfortunate is a segue that I'm about to do for our sponsor of the episode of the SSN Patch Notes. Like that, yeah. And I'm not dying, so I can do it. Hey, come on, that wasn't bad. That was pretty good. This episode of the SSN Patch Notes is brought to you by us. And the only reason I'm doing this now is because Zach already put it in the chat. If you like what you see and you want to support us, that is fantastic. You have multiple ways you can do it. One of the ways that will help us the most is if you go to patreon.com/SelectStartNetwork and become a supporter there at any level that you choose. We have levels as low as, and I'm going to say this in USD, $1.20 all the way $1,000 if you're a madman. I would personally recommend anywhere between the $1.20 to the $11.50 mark. The $11.50 mark is our live and uncut, where you could watch shows uncut, raw, enjoy the post shows afterwards, like we will be having on this one. You could go ahead and then head on over there, and you'll get 10% discounts on our merch store. You can get to participate in votes, Discord, Patreon exclusive chats, so much more. And if you cannot, and if you can't afford that, that's totally fine. All we ask is that you go ahead and follow us on Twitch. Go ahead and use your Amazon Prime if you have one over here. Follow us on YouTube and just share the videos, like them. Literally, I hate to say this, but it is an actual thing that matters. Liking videos on YouTube, even if it's one like, will literally bump up a video for the viewership and get more eyes on the video itself. And I hate asking for it, but call this as a call to action, a call to arms. If we can get videos, let's say the SSN podcast that's out right now, if we can get that video to have, I'm not even asking for a lot here, 10 likes, it will make a world of difference. That is all I ask, is 10 likes. It makes a world of difference. It is out right now on youtube.com/LiveSelectStart. But that is the end of the segue. Thank you so much. We love you. And I figured with that, we could talk about, since we are nearing the end of the show, we could talk about, at least the live public version, we could talk about, let's see here, one of the other big news that came out with the PlayStation State of Play, where we got some nummies little tidbits of the new Horizon Forbidden West game that's coming out. They had two videos, which I would highly recommend that you watch. The one that we will be concentrating on right now, which I will go ahead and post both of them, but it will be the first one that I'm posting in here, is the one that we will be talking about. Go ahead and put that in here, and we'll grab the other one. Is the 19-minute, basically demo gameplay of the game of Forbidden West, and our thoughts and what we think can happen to this game. So, basically, from what we can tell at the beginning of the game, there is a red blight, is what they're calling this disease, that is infecting everything organic and natural in the world. And your character, which I always forget her name, is it Haloid?
Aloy.
Aloy, excuse me.
Aloy.
Remove the A. Right, remove the H. Aloy is out there going all the way to the west, which sounds like it's going to be super tropical and fantastical. No, it's just San Francisco. Through the ancient tech to find a cure for the disease. And along the way, they kind of reveal a lot of new gameplay mechanics, some fun new environments, and something that makes me laugh. So, one of the things I can talk about right now, obviously, is it's a tropical setting. Even though it is set in San Francisco, it's got beaches, palm trees, bushes, like not bushes, but like tall grass, the whole 9 yards. Also, they have a bit of a water exploration segment, which for a water level looks pretty freaking nice.
Love water levels.
It's, everyone loves water levels in video games. But it is nice. You can use the water to hide yourself from enemies when they are searching for you. You don't have to worry about air because you have a rebreather on the entire time, so you can be down there as long as you want. But there is aquatic life that might try to mess you up if you're down there for too long or if you're in certain areas. They continue on, and some of the stuff that I think was a surprise to me was one of your enemies, the Raiders, is what they're referencing them in the gameplay trailer, are actually using, I don't know what they're called, but I call them mecha animals. The mecha animals, the robot animals, as trained pets. They're riding them, they're driving around, and they've learned to do that, and they hint on to one of the boss fights that you can have. This is where you fight a gargantuan mecha mammoth. So, mech-math? Mammoth? That doesn't work. Mecha mammoth. Let's go with mecha mammoth. Look, they're not all slam dunks, okay? All right, they're not all what is it called? Grand slams or
I don't do sport.
Home runs. That's what it is. I figured it out. Nonetheless, you have that. You have the ability to actually make smoke bombs to get out of the way if things are getting too dicey. The hand-to-hand combat is very similar to like your Arkham Asylums, your Arkham series, your God of Wars, with a bit of a Tomb Raider with the bow and arrow. And the staff, which, by the way, that staff has the ability to upgrade itself to where you pretty much put like, they call it tasers, but it looks more like an EMP canister in there, and it'll help take down heavy armor opponents, remove some of their plating, and reveal weak points, especially if you do that with the bow and arrow and whatnot. From what you had seen at that point, Steph, what are your initial thoughts with the game?
I mean, it looks, in general, gameplay-wise, it looks like the first game, which the first game was lots of fun. I didn't finish it. I need to buy it for PC. I started playing it on PlayStation, but I don't like controllers, so gotta restart that. But yeah, it looks a lot like the first game, which I'm very excited for because the first game, from what I played, is very fun, and the open worldness and the like choosing your like which way you want to kind of go about things, like it seems really great. And then like obviously whenever you get new areas, it's pretty. Like Horizon Zero Dawn honestly is one of the prettiest games I've seen. It's genuinely so stunning. If you haven't, just go look at pictures online. Just Google it. It's gorgeous. But I'm excited that they're adding new abilities to the things because like previously in the first game you were able to tame like the weird, it kind of looked like a cow boar thing.
Yeah.
And you could ride that and like you could tame things and stuff like that, but like the whole EMP thing and then like the underwater level stuff, it's like new content, and like we're always excited for new content.
Yeah.
Also, Aloy doesn't look too masculine. Like,
Wait, was that an issue? Did
dumb.
people have an issue with that? Are you kidding me?
It popped up on Twitter yesterday, but there is a man who has no following, who was talking about how Aloy looked too masculine and how he is upset that a lot of games recently, specifically released by PlayStation,
Okay.
where their female protagonist doesn't look stereotypically feminine, i.e., makeup and pretty and stuff like that. And then he said that PlayStation should hire fans and
Oh my.
displayed a lovely, photoshopped picture of Aloy. And to that, it's dumb. Like, women look all different shapes and sizes. We can put up makeup if we want to, but also this is like post-apocalyptic area. Like,
Yeah.
what is the point of her wearing makeup?
Yeah, no, that's Aloy's real mission, right? They don't want to talk about it yet, Guerrilla Games. But it's like, no, she's not looking for a cure for the blight. She's looking for the last CVS in America so she can get her mascara and her cover up and stuff. Like, shut up, man. Like, are you kidding me? Dear Lord. And also, if you have come play Rainbow Six Siege, okay, motherfucker? Where you will have all sorts of sizes for men and women. There's this beautiful gal in that game called Gridlock, and we call her Thicklock.
Oh, I love Gridlock.
But god damn is she beautiful. Do not ever discriminate against women or men in video games about their shapes and sizes. That is the dumbest thing that you could do. That you will insult a video game character because your perception of what these guys are and these lasses should look like is from the 1990s, where in Mortal Kombat they had tight bikinis and like gigantic breasts or like overly powerful muscles. Like, you can go play your fucking your Gears of War 1 and go back to Mortal Kombat like 4, where you get to enjoy that. Like, get with the modern times, man. Like, gosh darn it.
It's women don't wear makeup most of the time. I will say most of the time to impress men. Most of the time, makeup is used for you to feel good. I wear fake eyelashes because my eyelashes are inadequate, and I feel better with fake eyelashes on, even though it sucks putting glue by my eye.
Yeah.
But it's upsetting that it's still a mentality that men have, especially in the gaming sphere, that they think, oh, to represent women, we need to like have women look pretty. Like, no, how Aloy looks in her amazing badass natural form is like her, specifically her face, because that's what he was focusing on.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I look when I wake up in the morning and I don't put makeup on. Like this is the whole trend of I woke up like this. That's literally how she looks. She puts water on her face and she goes, I'm gonna go beat up a monster robot thing.
I'm gonna go fight a mecha raptor now. Excuse me if I don't have lipstick on. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, yeah, and it's the same thing. Not to go too much on a rant, but fuck it, we're ranting right now. I love my wife. She is the reason that I am here today, and she is a woman who does not wear makeup almost none of the time, and she is beautiful just for that. And I have told you, never have to wear makeup. That is never a thing that I want. I want you to be happy who you are. If that is wearing makeup, cool. If you are not going to wear makeup, that's also cool. I don't care. I love you for who you are. And you should appreciate women for who they actually want themselves to be portrayed as. Not what you want them to be, but who they actually are. Whether that is makeup on their face or not, whether it is them, slightly more muscular or not, or a bit bigger. Dude, I don't care. If you're a nice person, then you're beautiful, baby. That's all that matters. All right? Just be you. That's all we want. Everyone should want that.
Yeah.
Fucking be smart, please.
Women in TLDR, women don't need to wear makeup. It's fine.
Especially, is their choice. Yeah. But
yeah, don't think that you know better than a dev.
Yeah. Yeah, no, these people have done years of research. They're working on it. They have women on the team. They are getting from the source what these characters would look like in this environment. Do not try to be like, excuse me, actually, I'm going to backseat Dav and tell you what to do. Like, no one wants that. But to get off of that train, there's a couple extra things that I'll mention here, and then we have one actual little tidbit of news that we can talk about. With this system, you get to have the parasail like Link, which is kind of cool. I like that they you can go ahead and glide around. And
You also have stamina.
yeah, you and degradable weapons. Great, and you can
Oh,
cook your own meals. It's metal steak and metal chopped liver, whatever. No. But it is this awesome thing, and you also have your Assassin's Creed-esque vision that doesn't locate enemies, but it's more like places that you can parkour to, or you know what I mean. So you can grapple up and go on and
yeah.
move on from there. That's what they have. Like, it's like a little pulse thing. I think this game, like the first one, looks amazing. Do not take everything you see in this to heart, because this is still technically a tech demo. This is not actual gameplay. This is a pre-programmed rendered sequence of events that are happening, and things might change. That's just how it is. That is the world we live in. But from what we have been promised, it looks great, and I am very excited and happy for my PlayStation friends to have a hell of an exclusive like that to play. I think it'll be great. But one last little tidbit, because this wouldn't be the patch notes if we didn't actually talk about Siege. There was a tweet that was
Siege.
posted. Yeah, it all comes back to Siege. Look, Siege is what got us together. Siege is what's going to get us through this. Siege is what's going to deliver, and deliver. A couple of days ago, back, if I'm not mistaken, this was tweeted out. Let me pull this up, and once again, I will put this in the chat for us to go ahead and enjoy together, because we're all friends. This was posted on May 27th, and this will be more of a quick little speculation and things that we want to see. This is from the Rainbow Six Siege Twitter account. Crossplay between PC and cloud game platforms is currently being tested. Tune in to Ubisoft Forward on Saturday, June 12th for more information on Rainbow Six plans for crossplay and cross progressions. Steph, what are your thoughts?
I'm not mad at it. Like, obviously, it was gonna have to be a thing at some point. I feel like Siege is one of the few games that doesn't have crossplay,
Mm-hmm.
to my knowledge. Like,
One of the big games out there, yeah.
yeah. Unless it's like an exclusive, like,
Yeah.
like PC game, like CS:GO, like that's specifically.
Yeah.
The thing is that we both know, and most people who play Siege know, the cheater problem is still very bad, and obviously the devs are working on it very relentlessly. But the thing is that cheating on consoles is a different monster, because the devs can't really ban them on their end, because it is a console specific thing. So you would need to get banned by Sony or by Xbox. So that's my only worry. Like, I don't think console Siege has like aim assist like Apex does and all these
It
things.
does
So
not.
it's
That's
like,
correct.
but I just know that the cheating problem is a different beast on the console side. That's what makes me worry, because cheaters on PC, like, it sucks. Like, I'm not gonna deny that, but at least like when they need to get banned, they get banned by Battleline and by Ubi if you get caught cheating. But it's like cheaters can't get banned. Like, they can get caught by Battleline, but they won't get banned. They can't get banned by Ubi. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they can. You have to do it on the back end from Sony or from Microsoft. Um, so that's the only thing I'm really worried about right now, is just how bad the cheaters might end up being, and it's like,
There's always a chance. The biggest issues for cheaters on consoles have been the DDoSers, where they will literally freeze up servers that will then mess up all the console players. Or whether you like to admit it or not, mouse and keyboard on console is still considered cheating. What
don't do it.
I am slightly worried about what's going to happen now is if they do this cross-play, cross-progression thing, they will no longer say mouse and keyboard on consoles is considered cheating, because you will now have the option, or it'll be maybe just kind of like Apex, where it will be built in, and we don't have a choice to turn it on or off, where you will be playing against console players whether you like it or not, and vice versa for console players. You will have to play against PC players whether you want to or not. I hope that is not the case. I hope that it is an option that you can click on to make sure that if you are you just want to play against console people, you go ahead and do that. or if you're just a PC player that wants to actually like not to challenge themselves a little bit more, or not bully console players, you got to do that. I am not saying that console players are worse than PC players. I am saying that the aiming system is a totally different beast with a mouse versus a controller. I have friends who play this game on console. They are flat, almost diamond champion level type players, but there is a structure of playing on console that is not the same on PC. Some people in the community, like Greg Havner, if you check him out on YouTube, has said that if we are going to do a cross progression or a cross play, you need to have some kind of an aim assist on console for players. If they do that, we are going down a dangerous path of what Apex is suffering, where aim assist literally kills a console player or a PC player if they're within a certain distance, which in Siege, that certain distance is all the time. It is very rare do you have a long distance fight in Siege. It's usually within like the 10 to 15 meter mark or literally up in your face.
Yeah, I think the main thing is with Apex, it's a battle royale and the map is so huge. Like, it's the same thing as like most battle royales where you drop and there's the circle and blah 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 blah. Like Siege is very specific of this is your map and you can't really go outside of the borders of the map. And you have like typically you have 2 specific bomb sites because why are you playing any other mode? Like you have 2 bomb sites, you defend those 2 bomb sites, and like the map is only so big, right? But it's like so in a sense with Apex I understand why there is aim assist because you can have those long distance fights, but it's you know how about we just don't? It's fine. Let the console players leave.
So look, if you can give us the option of yes or no, if you want to play with that with those people, that's great. The only reason why I wouldn't mind doing that on an unranked or a quick play is, again, I have some friends who are on console that I don't get to play with anymore because I do not play console Siege anymore. I can't. It is too foreign for me to hold a controller and play a shooter now. It just doesn't make any sense, especially Siege where there is no aim assist. But the idea that I could do it with friends on quick play or on ranked, whatever, that doesn't bother me that much. That's whatever. And we're just gonna have a good time and just play have some dumb fun. What is nice are the people who've gone from console to PC or PC to console. They will now have that they will now have the ability, hopefully, for cross progression. Which means if you got black ice on your MP7 on PC and you're a console guy, guess what? Right? Or it doesn't matter, whatever legendary skin that you want. If you have the Rick and Morty rat skin for Smoke, guess what? Bring him over. I hate that skin. I hate it. If you have the Crimson Heist all pink skin, if you're cast and you start playing on PC or console, guess what? Get that Crimson Heist pink skin and you're good to go. I think that part is amazing. I am finally happy to see that this would, in theory, put a stop to people buying or basically when you're buying a console version or a PC version that you have to spend more money to get back everything that you had. That is a beautiful sight. I think that is well deserved, and that is something that we've been needing for a very long time in Siege.
Yeah. I think you and I are on different ends of the thing when it comes to cosmetic skins and how I don't know. I just personally don't think that cosmetic skins are everything. And like, yes, once you get crossplay, like you'll be able to transfer over your things, but like I feel like especially in the Siege community, we put so much like emphasis on skins, but it's like it's not like the skin isn't gonna help you play better. Oh, it's like
unless
not counting the skins that, yeah, not excluding those ones because Yubi, please take those out. Like it's not fair. But it's like people who, it's typically a thing on Twitter, but it's like people who rag on other people. Like when the skins came back for Lunar New Year, and people were like, "Oh, my skins aren't exclusive anymore," and I was like, "Who the fuck? Nobody cares. It's a skin on a gun in a game that doesn't exist in real life.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get a girlfriend because you have black eyes, man,
or boyfriend,
like,
or boyfriend."
Okay, let me just say, like, I am specifically targeting
Oh, the
the
boys?
dumb dudes
Oh,
in the
I see how
Siege
it is. My
community
feelings.
who
My
are.
dumb dude feelings.
No, it's.
I know
I
what you
think I
mean.
mentioned it last episode, but it's the joke that guys in the
Yeah.
Siege community who play Siege don't get girlfriends.
Yeah.
Um,
Get wives.
specifically the toxic ones.
Yeah.
But it's just a skin, and like obviously once you, like I said, once you get cross progression, cosplay, like you can get your other skins, and that's cool. But it's like, stop putting so much emphasis on skins, man. Like
Yeah.
it's not CS:GO. Like you can't sell that shit for money.
Yeah.
But it's like they're like, this is my black ice. Look at it. And I was like,
I don't wanna. Yeah. No, it makes total sense. I get it. For me, it's more of the financial side of things. I am happy to see that if you buy something on one end, you can
yes.
then have it transferred over. Apex has had this for a very long time. I'm pretty sure
Totally.
Call of Duty Warzone has it. It's just, for me, it is the financing part. And honestly, a lot of people like to rag on the skins in Siege. I think some of them are really nice. Some of them are trash.
Eh.
Yeah, like the Amber. I mean, trash isn't like they're exploited and they're used
Oh
to
yeah.
gaming advantages, which is just messed up.
Doopy, why is it still a thing? Why is Ember Rise
Yeah,
still a thing? Just
yeah.
take it out and don't let people like.
Or keep it on, but then when people play it, they just get neon signs on them. They just glow. Something that we talked about last night in while we were streaming. But anyways, that has been our thoughts, and that will be the wrap up for this week's episode of the SSN Patch Notes. We were about to do a hot fix. For those who don't know, that is our post show where we're going to be recording, and it's going to be a bit of a post show and tell, or we're going to be talking about something gaming related and show it off and share our memories with it. So if you want to go ahead and watch that, once again, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/SelectStarNetwork, where that will be posted up as soon as we can, and you can enjoy some of that goodness. But for now, I've been me. That's been Steph.
I've been Steph.
Steph, where can they catch you on the social media if they want to interact, or your Twitch channel?
Twitch.tv/Stephanie Ma _Ma.
One F,
Yeah.
two N's, one H at the end.
Yes.
I need that
I
for
really
myself.
need a better tag. It's so complicated.
And it's the same thing for Twitter and Instagram, I'm assuming?
Mhm.
All right, perfect. And for myself, if you want to talk to me directly, it is at SSNLarcher on Twitter, Instagram. If you want to talk to the yourself or just talk to everyone, it is twitter.com/officially SSN. Same for Instagram. Same for TikTok. And if you want to follow me on stream, this is it. I always stream on twitch.tv/SSNplays or catch your videos at youtube.com/live-select-start. But we got a post show to do. We'll see you guys in the hot fix for those who are going to be watching it later. But until now, we love y'all, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye bye.